Welcome to Python for Engineers short-term training program. And today we will continue the topic of file management in Python. Yesterday, what we understood is how to read a content from a file and display on the screen. Today we will try to continue the same topic, like searching a file, then writing some contents in a file or appending contents in a file, and then we will try to implement one simple case study of creating a sample student data set in a text file. So these are the topics that we are going to learn today. I believe that you guys have got some basic understanding about how to open a file. Okay, and just to have a small recap, any file management based on any programming language. For example, if it is a C language, you need a file pointer. If it is a C++, Java or Python, you need an object. For example, for reading a file, you need an object. For writing a file or appending some contents, you need a file object. So based on the file object, you can do different file operations by using some methods. So with this brief recap, let us go to the directory where we are saving all our or writing all our programs. Sorry guys for the interruption. Let me just go to the program which we saw yesterday. So I'm trying to explain you again that whenever we want to open a file, we need three things. One is the file name. Second, the purpose of the file for which you are opening. For example, to perform read operation, to perform write operation, or to append. Then we also need a file read, an object of a file stream. Okay, here I named it as file read object, but it can be any name, even it can be XYZ. Okay, so these three things are very important. Now, yesterday, we got stuck with exactly at a place where, in case if the file is not available, for example, we are trying to execute this file with a file name which is not available. Then what will happen? Immediately it has given file not found error. So this is an exception or an error which got raised and the program terminated abruptly. Now, in case if you want the program not to get abruptly terminated, what we need to do? We need to search the file before opening. We need to search a file before opening it. So that is where we stopped yesterday. So let us write a program, search file.py. How to search a file, whether it is available or not. How to search a file, whether it is available or not. I hope my audio is very much clear and you are able to watch my screen.
Yes, sir. Both are good.
Okay. Now, there is a package called as OS. There is a package called as OS. Okay. OS library or OS package or OS module, okay, comes by default with Python installation. No need to separately, no need to install it separately. No need to install separately. OS library comes by default. Now, what is this OS library meant for? Okay, so in OS library, Python has modules or Python has methods to know, or you can say Python has methods which gives the user to execute some commands which an operating system provides from the command prompt. For example, sometimes this line may be little confusing. For example, in Windows OS prompt, dir, if you type dir, what will happen? Dir command lists the files and directories. In Unix OS prompt, that is $, right? ls command lists the files. Correct? Everybody, I think you will be able to understand what I am saying. So those kind of commands like searching a file, displaying the directory name, displaying the file name, etc. can be done by importing the module OS. By importing the module OS. Okay, so OS has many commands. Sorry, OS has, let me just, OS module has submodules which provides methods to work with command prompt commands. To work with commands, we use from the command prompt. In case of any difficulty, let me show you how to search a file by making use of the module OS. By making use of the module OS. Okay. See, OS has many, you can go through online resources or you can directly go through the Python documents also. I may not be able to explain all the methods in OS, but definitely for basic file management, I am going to explain you the methods available. For example, this program to search a file in the current directory. Program to search a file in the current directory. Now, inside OS, there is a submodule called as path. And inside that path, there is a method called as isFile. What is isFile? IsFile method is available in a sub-package called as path inside the main package OS. I hope everybody understood what I am saying. What is OS dot path? OS is a main module. Inside the main module OS, there is a submodule called as path. Inside that path submodule of the main module OS, there is a method called as isFile. There is a method called as isFile. Now, what is this isFile method? IsFile method, for example, you can give the file name, whatever you want to search. For example, F:. Let me take the, for example, there is a, to save some time, I am trying to copy the folder. Now, inside this, you want to verify, for example, dummyfile.txt. This is the file name that you need to search. This is the file name that you need to search. Okay. Now, if you don't give, see here, program to search a file. That's a better thing. If you don't give any path, for example, isFile method searches the file when absolute path is given. In this program, I am giving the exact path of the file. For example, F drive, CIET directory, dummyfile.txt. If you don't give a path, isFile method searches the current directory when the path of the file name is not mentioned. And the path of the file name is not mentioned. Okay, so I am trying to write all the comments on top of the program so that it will be a notes for you. Okay, now what happens is this isFile method will search for dummyfile.txt in F drive CIET folder. Why? Because I have mentioned the path. Now, isFile returns a Boolean value true true if file exists. If file exists. Now, the isFile returns Boolean value Boolean value false if file does not exist. Tell me in case if you guys have any doubt in understanding this concept. What is isFile method and what is OS and what are Python modules? One of the participants is asking what are Python modules. Chitti Manasa, whether you attended my yesterday and day before yesterday session or not, let me know. Manasa, please let me know. Module means a library kind of thing where there are some methods which you can use. I have yesterday and day before yesterday, I clearly explained also, Manasa. In case if you have any doubt, you please watch yesterday and day before yesterday sessions. Basically, what is a module? Module is something which you can create by yourself or Python provides you so that you can use some methods in it. Basically, it's like a header file. It's not exactly like a header file. You can also treat it in C language. You have stdio.h. In stdio.h, you have scanf, you have printf. In string.h, you have strlen, you have strcmp, you have strcpy. What is the header file? Header file has a functions defined in it. Similarly, here module has function methods defined in it. Okay. Manasa, even day before yesterday also I explained you one of the module. Even if you are absent in yesterday, if you have attended day before yesterday class, you will understand. Simple line. Module is something which may come by default from Python or which you can create yourself, where some methods are defined which you can use in your program. Now, isFile is a method available in OS main module. There is a sub module called as path. Okay. Now, let me say file available is equal to. Now, file available will be true if the file is really available. Otherwise, it will be false. So what I can do, if file available, what is file available? It's basically the return value of the method isFile. In line number 6 and 7, I have written in a comment that isFile will return true if the file is available. It will become false if file is not available. So if file available is true, you can say print file exists, else file does not exist. So a simple message to search whether a file exists or not. If you have any doubt in the program, please let me know. Let me execute the program. Let me execute the program. Now, definitely, this particular file is not available. Is not available. Why it is not available? If you really want to know, we can go one directory level back, that is fciet. You can type dir dummyfile.txt. See, the file is not available. So this is a manual way of searching whether the file is there. Now we will try to search in the program itself. Okay. Purposefully, we are searching a file which is not available. Now you see, it says file does not exist. Why? Because it's not available. Now, let us try to improvise a program, or let me give a file which is available. Which is available. So let me open yesterday's program. I am trying to take a file which is available. Okay. Now let me comment the first line. Not the first line, the file where we are searching a dummy file.txt which is not available. Now let us execute the program and see whether it will give me a message that file exists or not. Now you can see clearly it says file exists. So that means I can search a file. I can search a file. Okay. Now, in case if you want to ask the user to enter a file name and then search, are you able to understand what I am saying? In case if we can also ask the user enter a file name, we will read the file name from the user and then search that. That is also possible. So what I mean to say is, let us improvise this program. Let us improvise this program to read the file name from the user and then search the file in the current directory. At this point of time, we will work on current directory. Tomorrow we will see how to do further, like searching in any directory. For example, if you give F drive, how to search in each and every directory, subdirectory, that also recursively traversing the file structure. Okay, so that also we will see. I think that we will see tomorrow. As of now, we will work on current directory. Today we will work on current directory only. Okay. I hope you guys are able to follow me. Tell me if you have any doubts. Let me come to the chat box and check whether you understood how to search a file. Please let me know in the chat box. Okay. Now let us try to improvise the program further. For example, instead of directly taking okay, let me write another program for this instead of disrupting this one. Read file name and then search file .py. Read the file name and search the file. From where we have to read? From the user. How to read from the user? It's very simple, no? So I can say, for example, my file name is equal to, ask the user to give the file name. Enter a file name with extension to search. Enter a file name with extension to search. Why? Because extension is also important. If you don't give the extension, then exactly you will not get the expected outcome. Okay. Then file available is equal to, okay, first of all, you need to import the OS package, the OS library or OS module, you can say. File available os.path is file. Where is the file name? It is stored in my file name reference. So you pass it, my file name. Now, rest of the things are same. If file available, print, I want the file name also to be displayed. So my file name is available or exists or any message. Otherwise, my file name is not available. My file name is not available. See, we are writing the same logic, but instead of directly giving a hard-coded value of a file, I am prompting the user to enter a file name and then searching it. Search a file in current directory. Tomorrow, definitely, I will teach you how to search a file recursively in each and every directory and subdirectory. Okay. Now let me execute the program. I believe you guys have understood the logic. Now it will ask a file name. For example, if I say dummy.txt, it says dummy.txt is not available. Okay. Suppose, let me again execute and give the file name which I am executing right now. What is the file name which I am executing? Read file name search file.py. You see, it says it is available. I believe you guys have understood. In case of any difficulty, please let me know. I am waiting in the chat box. In case if you have understood this. Okay. So let us take a couple of minutes break here. Okay. I will be back in couple of minutes. Now the time is 4:38. 4:40 again we will resume. So I believe there is no doubt, and we will resume the session now. Okay. Now, why we are searching a file? What is the need to search a file? One is to learn a concept of how to search a file. Next thing is, now, in case if you want to read a file, if you want to read the contents in a file, let us not directly try to open the file. Only when it is available, let us open the file and then we will continue. So let me write a, excuse me. Read display file contents.py. So see, I am just trying to repeatedly write the logic so that you will become familiar with how to actually write programs in file management. Okay. So the first thing is we will import the OS package. Then what we will do, my file name is equal to input, enter a file name with extension, obviously, right? Then the next immediate thing what you are going to do, file available is equal to os.path.is file. We need to give the my file name here. Okay. Now, if see, if file not, suppose if you want to write if file is available, you can also write if file is not available. So how to write if file is not available? There is a keyword called as not that you can use. If not file available, that means if the file is not available, if file available is false, suppose file available is false, not or false will become true. Then only it will go inside. If file not available, then you can say print my file name, file is not available. Simple message. Else, then you can say file object is equal to open. Which one you have to open? The file name which is stored in my file name in read mode. Then see, this is an extension of yesterday's program. By understanding the logic of searching a file also. File object is equal to, file object dot read will actually read the contents. So what I'm trying to do, suppose file contents is equal to file object dot read. Now, if you simply print the file contents, it will be displayed on the screen. Yesterday, we wrote the same program like reading a file and displaying. Now, I have merged the logic of search a file. If it is not available, smoothly, the program will exit saying the file is not available. Otherwise, you can also print a display message saying that file is available. Then before printing the contents, you can also say a message print file contents are, then it will print the file contents. I hope everybody understood the logic without any difficulty. Let me know in case if you could not understand this particular program where searching a file and reading a file, all the logics are merged into one program. Let me know if you have any difficulty. Otherwise, I will execute and show you. Kindly respond in case if you have any difficulty. I will just wait for 2-3 responses in the chat box before I execute the program. Okay. Thank you, Leela Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Now, let me execute the program. Py read display file contents dot py. Now, let me give the file which I am executing right now. The file which I am executing right now is read display file contents. Let me give the same file. Let me give the same file. Now, you can clearly see the file which is being executed is actually displayed again. I believe you guys are able to understand what I am saying. I gave the file name which I am executing right now. Okay, the same thing is coming in the Notepad++. You can see, and exactly the same thing is being displayed. See, import OS, my file name, everything. So I am able to read a file and I am able to display, I am able to search and display the contents. So if you have any difficulty, please let me know. Okay, so one of the participants is telling me, once again tell it. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain the logic. Please observe the file name of this particular Python program. The file name is read display file contents. Harish, please observe carefully. Harish, please observe, and in case if anybody also has the doubt which Harish has raised, please observe carefully. I am writing one Python program. The Python program file name is read display file contents. I believe everybody understood the first line. First line is importing the OS package. Now in line number 2, I am trying to read a file name to read the contents and display it. So my file name, what is my underscore file name? My underscore file name will be just a string. Why it is a string? Because input methods read strings. What is that string? String is nothing but the file name with extension. First, I am searching from os.path.is file, my file name. What is my file name? My file name is a string which stores the file name. So I am searching the file. If is a keyword, not is also a keyword. If not file available, it's like English only, no? If file not available, display a message, my file name. What is my file name? The file name which the user entered is not available. Otherwise, I am displaying a message, file is available. The file name, file is available. Then I am opening. What is open method? Open method opens a file name or opens a file, basically, not file name. Opens a file. Which mode? Read mode. So for reading a file, you need an object, right? So file object is an object. You can also write x equal to. In line number 8, you can write x equal to. File object is a file stream object which got permission to open this file in read mode. In read mode. Now, by using that file object in line number 9, I am calling a method called as read. So file object dot read means, what is file object? File object means an object which got permission to open the file given by the user for reading purpose. So dot read method will read the entire file contents. I am storing that in another object called as file contents. Then I am simply printing a message. File contents are one message. Then file contents, file underscore content. What is file underscore content? It is coming from line number 9. Now, let me execute the file again. Now, before executing the file, let me see how many files are there in the current directory. Imagine we will try to give search file.py. I have given, let me execute the file again. The file which I am executing right now, the file name is py, sorry, the file name is read display file contents. That is the file I am executing. That file is asking me to enter a file name. Imagine I will give a different file, search file.py. Search file.py is written by me just now in front of you. Now you see, if you really want to know what is search file, you can also open and see. See this. This is search file.py. What is my output? Everybody please try to understand. I am executing this file, read display file contents. What program I am executing? I am executing, oh, sorry, 1 second. Just a second, guys. Okay. By mistake, there were some enters. So let me give again. Okay. Yeah. Now, let me come here and show you. The file which I am executing is read display file contents. See here. Now, what is the input that I am giving for the user? I am giving the input. Guys, please understand. Open search file.py. Where is search file.py? It is definitely available in my current directory. So what it is doing? It is actually, see here. This is search file.py and these are the contents. Exactly the same contents are mentioned here. So by executing one Python program, I am able to open another file and display the contents. Is it clear, Harish? Or if you have any doubts, please let me know. Not only Harish, if anybody has a doubt, please let me know. Harish? Harish, is it clear? Okay. So Harish has responded, it is clear. Thank you, Setti. Thank you, Manasa. Okay. Now, let me, why should I display on the screen? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? You are opening a file, that is okay. You are opening a file for reading. You are opening a file for reading. And what you are doing? You are simply writing the contents in a, displaying on the screen. So instead of displaying on the screen, what I want is, I will take input from user. Okay, let me close this. Just a second. let me try to annotate and tell you the task what we are going to do now. Open a file which is existing, because you cannot open a file which is not existing for reading purpose, which is existing for in read mode. In read mode. Then open, or 1 second, let me first tell you, open a file. Okay, task is ask the user to enter some input. Ask the user to enter some input. Okay, so the user can enter anything. User can enter integer, floating point, whatever it is, some input. Open a file in write mode and write the user input in that file. Let us do that. What is the task? I want to open a file in write mode and whatever user is entering. Right now, we are only displaying on the screen. No, whatever user enters, let it go into the file. Let it go into the file. Now remember, write mode means if file is not available, creates it, opens it, and write the contents. If file is not available, then if file is available, then yesterday also I told, opens it, okay, erases the contents and write the new contents. Just like a small kid writing ABCD on a slate. He writes A, erases, again writes B, erases on a small slate. Okay. I hope everybody understood the task. The task is ask user to enter an input and write in the file. Ask the user to enter and write in the file. Okay. So instead of reading the input once, let us read the input from the user 5 times by using a loop. Why 5 times? Only so that I can show you that all the entries are being written in a file. Okay. What will happen is, because we are using write mode, if the user enter 5 times, no, only the latest one will be there. Only the latest one will be there. Okay. So instead of doing this in the write mode, let me tell that in an append mode. Okay. 5 times. Now, I hope everybody understood the task. Task is to read an input and write in a file, in a write mode. Okay. So, NPP read input write in file using write mode .py. See, I always give bigger, lengthier names. Read input, write in file using write mode. See, writing is a process. Writing is a process. Write is a mode. Okay, so obviously you need to use the, okay, here searching a file does not require. There is no need to search a file, because opening a file in write mode, even if file is not available, it is going to create it. So there is no need to search the file here. Okay, no need to search a file, as open in write mode creates a file if it does not exist. I hope everybody understood that logic. Okay, so it's very simple. Open. Okay, we need to ask the user to enter a file name. For example, my file name is equal to input. Enter a file name. Simple text file we will give. Okay, enter a text file name. .txt. Extension will be .txt. Okay, then open my file name. In which mode? Write mode. W means write mode. For write mode. Now, as I told you yesterday, for a human being to read, they need an eye. They need an eye. Similarly, for a file to be read or to be written or to be appended, definitely you need a file object. Okay, so for human being, it's an eye or a chalk piece or a pencil or a pen. But here there will be file object. So you can say file object is equal to. Now file underscore object is a file stream object which got permission to open a file in write mode. In write mode. Now opening a file is over. We have opened a file. Then what we have to do? We need to ask the input, no? For example, my input is equal to, simply ask, enter something. It can be anything. You enter a number, you enter a string, you enter a floating point number, you enter comma, full stop, anything. Now, what is my underscore input? My underscore input basically is a string because input is a input method reads string. So that particular string I am storing in my input. This my underscore input has to be written in the file. Has to be written in the file. To write the contents in a file, there is a method WRITE. Write method shall be called with the file stream object. Here what is the object? File underscore object. So let me give this in the starting part itself. Okay. Now file object dot write. See, W is also write, but it's a mode. It's a purpose. This is a method. Don't get confused with W write and the write method. W is only a mode. Write is a method to write in the file. It's a process of writing. What you need to write? My underscore input. Whatever my underscore input is there, it needs to be write. Now, if you want to know whether this program will be successful or not, we need to execute the program. Now, after writing, my purpose is completed. So it's a good programming practice to close the file. How to close the file? Use the file underscore object. What is file underscore object? It's an object which got permission to open the file for write mode. So dot close means it will close the file. You know, um, after your work is done, usually you will close all the files, no? That is manual. So for example, I can come here and if I click this cross button, it's closed, no? That is closing a file manually. So what I am trying to do is systematically, we opened a file in write mode. So systematically, I am trying to close the file. It's a good programming practice. Good practice to close a file. Even if you don't write, it will close by default. But it is always good. Like sometimes we go to internet center and if you open a mail, definitely you will do sign out now. Correct? Something like that. Now tell me, in case if you have any doubt in this particular program. I'm waiting in the chat box. In case if you have any difficulty, please let me know, otherwise I will execute. Any doubts? Okay. Thank you, Akash. Thank you, Akansha. Thank you, everyone. Let me execute this particular program. Now, dir star.txt. See here, there is no text file. Before executing the program, we made sure that there is no text file here. Okay. Now, let me execute the file. Read input, write in file using write mode. Enter a text file name. It is asking me where I need to write. Okay. For example, my text file dot txt. My underscore text file dot txt. Then it is asking enter something. Let me give Python workshop file management session. This is the input I am giving. Now I am entering. Now you see there is no output. The program is successfully executed. The program is successfully executed. Program is successfully executed, but there is no output because this program is writing some contents in a file to make sure we need to open, in this example, what I have given, my text file .txt. If you really want to know, you need to open that file. So let me open. How to open a text file? It's very simple. Either I can use NPP, that is Notepad++ in my machine, or you can also open from Notepad. Notepad, you know what is a Notepad, right? Notepad, my text file .txt. See here, the input what I gave, Python workshop file management session, is written in the file myfile.txt. Now, so one of the participant is asking a doubt. మనం ఇప్పుడు అనదర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి రైట్ చేస్తే డిఫాల్ట్ ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో చేంజ్ అవుతుందా? యా, శెట్టి కరెక్ట్ అమ్మా. నువ్వు రైట్ మోడ్ లో ఏ ఫైల్ ఓపెన్ చేసినా ఆ ఫైల్ ఒకవేళ ఉంటే అది మొత్తం ఎరేజ్ అయిపోయి కొత్తగా రాస్తుంది అనమాట. సో వాట్ శెట్టి ఈజ్ ఆస్కింగ్, in case if we are opening another program, will it go and change that? Yes, obviously. That's why don't use write method just like that, because make sure if you are using write method, you know why you are using. It will erase the old contents and it will keep new contents. For example, imagine you have Gmail. Every Gmail have a password. Now definitely Google stores your password in an encrypted manner, correct? Otherwise, how it is logging in? When you are giving a wrong password, how it is telling it is wrong? Why? Because for every Gmail, it will have one file. Now, in case if you change the password, the old one will be removed and new one will be kept. So sometimes write mode is very important, but just like that, don't use write mode because it will remove the old contents. It will remove the old contents. Yeah, Leela Krishna, please wait. I will tell you. If I don't want to erase the old content, I will tell you. Yesterday also I told you there is another mode called as append. Just wait. Whether you understood this concept or not, you please let me know. Whether this program is clear or not. Okay. So up to this, it is clear. So whatever we are giving, that text file has the content which is entered by us. Okay. Now, let me execute the same program one more time with the same file. Let me execute the same program with the same text file once again. The contents will be erased and new contents will be written. To prove that, we will do that again. Okay, so let me clear all the drawings. Let me clear all the drawings and I am executing. See, clear the screen. I am executing the program again. I am giving the same file name. Now enter something. This is my new content. Enter. Now, if you want to open the notepad, you can also see, for example, notepad. Now you see here, the old content is gone. The old content is gone and the new content has come. That is write mode. So what is the benefits of write mode? You know, like for example, the Gmail and all, they can store, maybe they may store in a database table, not exactly in a file, but anyways, this is one way of writing contents in a file. Old contents are gone. New contents are written. Now, let us learn. Let us learn another mode, append mode, which keeps the existing contents and writes the new contents. Let us do that. Okay, so clear all the drawings, clear this. let me copy this and then we will try to create one more file like npp read input write in file using append mode. So I'm copying the same piece of code. I'm copying the same piece of code. Instead of W, I will write A. A stands for append mode. A stands for append mode. Rest all will be same. Rest all will be same. Now, instead of one time entering something, I can also say for I in range 1, 4. 1, 4 means it executes 3 times. 3 times I want to ask the input. And 3 times I am writing it. Okay. So that's it. Same program. Same program. The only difference is I used an append mode, and to show you the previous output will not be erased, purposefully I created a loop for 3 times so that all the 3 inputs will be written one after the other. Now, everybody, please try to understand one small concept here. Here, write method is a process of writing the contents. This is a method. Don't get confused. Here you are using write. Write is a method which is a process of writing the contents. Okay. So write method is used or is called or invoked for writing the contents. Okay. So there is no, for example, because there is a W for write mode, is it not? There is nothing like dot append. There is no append method. Okay. Write is a method. Either it can be used in write purpose or append purpose. Write is a method which writes something in a file. I believe you guys are understanding. Okay. Now let me clear all the annotations and execute the program. Now, everybody, before executing the program, let me open my text. See, let us keep this aside. This is before execution. Left side, what I am opening is before execution. Already one content is there. This is my new content. It's already there. Now, let me use the same file in append mode. Let me use the same file in append mode. Okay. I believe that you guys are able to understand why I am keeping this in the screen so that I can also explain you. Okay. The right hand side corner is before executing the program. Okay. Now I am executing read input write in file using append mode.py. Now it will ask a file name. Let me give the file name. Okay. Enter something. For example, how are you? Again, I am fine. Thank you. goodbye. Now, 3 times some inputs were taken. How are you? I am fine, thank you. Let me open the text file again. Now you can clearly see, I believe, let me try to annotate and show you. This is before executing the Python program. Before program execution. Okay, then this is after program execution. You can clearly see the input, whatever I entered, we can notice that the input given by the user are written in the file side by side only, sidewise, but not in new lines. Correct? It's coming exactly after the contents, like how we write. It's not coming in a new line. It is not coming in a new line. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Okay. So that also I will tell how to write in a new line. How to write in a new line. Tell me if you have any doubt on this particular concept. How are you is written. I am fine, thank you is also written. And even goodbye is also written by keeping the previous content intact. Okay. This is my new content. And then the input, whatever I have entered, is also written. Okay. Now, let me ask in case if the participants have any doubt. Let me know if you have any doubt. See, SETI, I have written the loop just to show you there is no need for loop. There is no need for loop to write. I wrote a loop so that it is easy. Instead of executing 10 times the same program, I am writing a loop. Absolutely, there is no need to have a loop. Okay. Loop is not required for appending the contents. I want in a single execution 3 lines. That's why I wrote a loop. So in case if you have any other doubt, SETI ardhamainda amma? Okay. Now, how to write a new line? How to write a new line? Very simple. After writing the input, you need to write the new line. You need to write. It will not write anything by its own. Okay. So you can also say dot write. Everybody in C language knows what is new line, no? \n is like enter button. \n is new line. Now, let me execute the program. So after writing my input, I am writing new line. Again, I will take the input, I will write the new line. Are you able to understand what I am saying? So let me execute the program now. If you want to see Notepad, my text file. See, I am opening the my text file and these are the contents. See, this is the content before executing. Okay. Now, let me execute the same program once again. Everybody see, observe carefully. Now, I am trying to execute the same program again. It will ask me the file name. I will give the same file name. Enter something. So let me say Python. Then let me say programming. Then let me say workshop. Now, ideally, what it should do is, it will write Python after goodbye. It will write Python after goodbye. Why? Why? Because I am writing a new line only after writing the input. So it will write in case. Yeah, let me just show you. Now you see here, it has written Python after goodbye. Before executing itself, I told you. Why it is writing Python after goodbye? Because first time in line number 5, you are directly writing the input. Let me tell you exactly what I am referring to. Observe, first you are writing the input, that is Python. After writing Python only, there is a new line. Then only the programming comes here. After that, writing again there is a new line. So that's why workshop is coming after the new line. Programming and workshop. In case, if you want every time before the content a new line, then what you have to do? You need to just add one more. Let me close everything. Let it be there. This is the existing content right now. This is the existing content. Now, let me add, let me add this line again. Now, imagine this is the current content. Let me execute the program again. Enter something. For example, file management concept is interesting. So I entered. Now, please observe, before writing the file, what is file? My input, my underscore input. I am writing a new line. So if you really open the notepad again, clearly you can see that. See, this is the existing content. By programming is also existing content. Workshop is existing. Now you see file management concept is interesting. Here two times lines are coming. Why? Why? Because before writing a input, you are putting a new line. After writing the input also, you are putting a new line. That's why that gap is there. If you don't want that gap, then what you have to do? You need to remove that line number 7. Line number 7 is not required anymore. What I mean to say is, let us keep this here. That is the existing content. So I am trying to improvise the logic. Oh, sorry. I am trying to improvise the logic in front of you to show you the difference instead of directly writing this piece of code and executing. I believe you guys are enjoying the session. Now I am again giving the same inputs. or let me type CIET, let me type NIT Nagaland, let me type IIT Madras. Now what should happen after concept is interesting? See, the current contents are concept is interesting, correct? Then okay, let me by default open. You see, this is the file. CIET, NIT Nagaland, IIT Madras. I believe you guys have understood clearly. One second. Just a second, guys. Yeah, let me keep side by side. Oh, come on. This is the old file. This is the new file. So I believe that you guys have understood the basic concepts of files. Okay, now let us try to understand one more small concept. That is, before explaining, let us take a couple of minutes break. Now the time is 5:33, 5:35. Again, we will resume the session. And we will learn some more file concepts. Okay, guys. So now let us try to copy one file to another file. What I mean to say is, for example, in Windows operating system, you know, copy paste, right? I think everybody will know. So let me come to F colon CIET. Imagine go to file management. Okay. Now I want to copy one file. Suppose search file.py. What I will do? Copy. I will click copy. Then again I will come here and I will click paste. Now what happened? A new file has been created which has the same file name, but a small string is there. So what I mean to say, what happens when we copy a file and paste the same directory? I'm taking Windows operating system. You see, for example, this search file is the original file. Correct or not? Everybody please notice carefully. What is the original file? This is the original file. Now, duplicate file. What is the duplicate file? Because you are copying in the same directory. So, it is giving a string, the same search file name. See, clearly you observe the duplicate file as same file name, but with hyphen copy, correct? And same extension is there. I hope everybody understood what I am saying. Search file.py is my original file. When I do copy paste, Control C, Control V, or right click copy, right click paste, it has given the same file name with some extra word, /copy. Sorry, hyphen copy, and extension is coming exactly same. What will be the content? Content will also be the same, no? Correct? So, source file contents are copied into the duplicate file. Correct or not? Tell me whether you agree with me or not, and whether you understood what exactly I am trying to explain you. Please let me know whether you are able to understand what exactly I am trying to tell. Let me come to the chat box. Please tell me. Yeah. Give me a moment. My power is gone. Let me switch on the inverter and come back. Just a moment, guys. So one of the participants is asking me, will you, if you delete the original, whether duplicate will become original? See, how can you delete the original after obtaining the duplicate file? If you really want to delete, see, the concept set, what you have to understand here is, we are trying to now implement that copying file concept through a Python program. Copying file concept through a Python program. Your understanding should be how we can implement the same copy paste from a Python program. Okay. Now, let us, I hope I am very much audible and my screen is still shared. I forgot and I closed all the sessions from my command prompt. Now, NPP implement file copy .py. That means what is required now? It's very simple. Instead of explaining the logic, let me keep on writing the program and at the same time I will explain the logic. Okay. Or it's pretty simple. It's always good to explain the logic. How to implement a file copy. Simple. Read source file name with extension. Correct? First of all, you need to read the source file name. Which file you want to copy. 2. Search the source file existence. If not available, that means you are trying to give the program a file name which is not there. Search the source file existence. If not available, exit the program. Otherwise, continue. I believe everybody understood what is searching the source file. Suppose you are giving a file which is not there. Then how I will copy? You need a, then see, form the file name for destination file. The destination file is the duplicate file. You need to create the file name now with the same file name with extra hyphen copy. Hyphen copy. And extension also should be same. Suppose if the source file is txt, destination also should be txt. If the source file is .py, destination also should be .py. So you need to form. You need to form the file name. Then 4. Open source file in read mode. Correct? Simple. Then open destination file in write mode. Then read the contents from the source file. Then finally write the contents in the destination file. It's very simple. Then finally close the source file and close the destination file. Tell me in case if you don't understand the logic. If you understand the logic, no, writing program is very, very simple. Harish is asking me, tell me what is append mode and use. Harish, whether you attended my yesterday session, I don't know. See, append means, Harish, imagine you have a notes. Harish, if you have a notes, will you remove the old contents and write only the new notes, or you will open the notes and suppose if it is a data structures or any operating system, you will keep on turning the pages where the last contents are there and write continue. Tell me, Harish, whether you will tear all the old notes and write every time new, or you will keep the existing contents and write the new. Harish. Append mode means keep the old contents and write the new contents. I already showed you also in a program. So Harish has responded that he will continue. Same thing. In case if you want a file content to be there, and if you want to write a new content, then you need to use append mode. Harish, is it clear now or any doubts? For example, I will tell bank statement. Suppose you have internet banking. You log into internet banking. It will show all the transactions, no? At least 10 transactions it will show. You go to a bank statement. Bank statement is nothing but a file where it will keep the old transactions and try to append the new transactions. I hope this example is clarifying Hari's doubts. Okay. Now, guys, tell me whether you understood the file copy logic or not. Can somebody respond whether you understood the logic for copying a file from one file to another file with the file name with additional string like underscore copy or something? Okay. Now let us try to implement that. So what is the first logic? You need to read the, for example, let me use the module import. Why? Because source file should be available to copy. So to search a file, I am using OS. Okay. Now, source file is equal to, we need to ask the user. Enter a file name with extension to copy. To copy the contents. Correct? No? Right. Then first you have to search source file available. Source file available is equal to os.path.is file source file. Source file is the file name, or you can also say source file name. Source file name. We are trying to search it. If not source file available, that means if source file is not available, what you will do? Simply exit the program. No, that's the logic. You can say source file name. We will print the source file name not available. Exiting the program. One simple message. One simple message. In case if it is available, then what we have to do? We have to form the destination file name. We have to form the destination file name. How to form the destination file name? You need to see in the Windows also I showed you, no? Let me show you again. In F drive, CIET, file management, I manually copied. Please observe this file. Search file is copied. So search file is also there. Hyphen copy, that is an extra word. .py is there. .py is there. So what you need to do is you need to split the file name and extension. You need to split. You know how to split. I already explained you for a string. What is source file name? In line number 2, it's just a string. So everybody see here. Source, or you can say simply source file. I always try to use the meaningful name. So source file dot split. Tell me, what is the special character which divides a file name and extension? It is nothing but dot. So split the source file with dot. With dot. Split will return a list. Split will return a list. So split list is equal to. So what I mean to explain is, before writing the code, everybody please understand. In case if source file is, for example, sample.py. Imagine source file is sample.py. Now source file dot split dot, okay, what it will do? Split list is equal to, what it will do, you know? Now split list will be a list with sample comma py. Basically it will split. Split will split the file with dot character. No, I have given split with dot. So sample.py, sample will come, py will come. So the file name is in split list of 0. The extension is in split list. Don't ask me what is split list of, what is this 0 and 1? It is an index of the list. I hope you guys have understood the logic written in line number 7. In case if you don't understand line number 7 explanation, ask me now itself. Let me come to the chat box. Whether you understood the program till now or not. Please let me know. Please let me know if you have understood or not. Everybody. Okay. So people are saying it is clear. So let me continue. Thank you all. Let me continue. Let me clear all the drawings. Now, see here. File name is equal to split list of 0. Extension is equal to, see, for easy understanding, I am storing it. There is no need to store split list of 0 and split list of 1 also. You can directly use, but for easy understanding, I am storing it in one reference variable, file name and extension. Now, we need to form destination file. The name of the file is equal to, everybody see here, file name. After that, there needs to be something like this, a string, space, hyphen, space, copy. This is exactly what Windows is giving. After that, add extension. See, what is plus here? Plus is string concatenation. So your destination file will be the same file name followed by space, hyphen, space, copy. Then you need to have dot also, no? Copy dot. Dot also should be there. So I put the dot here. Everybody see here. And then adding the extension. What is extension? For example, if it is py, py. If it is txt, txt. Now we formed the destination file name. Tell me if you have not understood line number 10. Tell me if you have not understood line number 10. Okay. Now, what we need to do? Source file is available. We created the file name for destination file. Now what you have to do? Open source file in read mode. When you are opening, you need to get the object. So file or source file object. Then destination file object equal to open which file? You need to open a destination file in write mode. See here, I hope everybody is able to follow me. I am opening a file in read mode, source file. Now I am opening the, what is destination file? The file name which we created in line number 10. What is source file? The input which we have taken in line number 2, and it is available also. After opening these files, what we have to do? Source file object dot read. Read the contents. So you can say source file contents is equal to, we are reading the contents. After reading, what you have to do? We have to write the contents in destination file. So through the destination file object dot write, what you have to write? Source file content. See, the way I am writing the variable names looks like English only. You see, open source file in read mode, open destination file write mode, get the source file contents by reading the source file, then write into the destination file source file contents. Now my task is completed. Once my task is completed, what I have to do? I need to close source file. I need to close destination file. This is the program for copying a file from one file to another file. Tell me if you have any doubts now. Otherwise, let me execute first. Okay. So let me execute. Implement file copy. Implement file copy. Okay. Now, we all know there is one text file, no, that we created. What is the text file name? mytextfile.txt. Let me copy the mytextfile.txt by executing the program which we wrote now. Implement file copy.py. Now it is asking me, suppose if I say dummy.txt, dummy.txt is not a source file name I have used. Okay. I have used a small, written a small mistake here. Just a variable name. Okay. Hold on, guys. Yeah. Let me give dummy.txt. It says dummy.txt not available. If it is not available, how I will copy? Cannot copy. Now let me execute the program again. Now, okay, I forgot the notepad. Okay. Oh, my text file.txt. Let me copy. Okay. Now it is asking me, let me give my text file.txt. The moment I enter, immediately output came. Now dir star.txt. Everybody, you can realize from the output that now my time is 6:01. See, exactly at 6 o'clock, my text file -copy.txt came, and both will be exactly one and the same. If you really want to know, you can say notepad mytextfile.txt, and you can also open, you can also open Notepad, mytextfile.txt also. Both are available. If everybody see clearly, both are available. This is my program. This is the original file. Just let me come back and keep it here. Give me a moment, guys. For the screenshot purpose, let me reduce the font. If you are unable to see right now, anyways, I am going to share the screenshot. So this is the original file. And this is the duplicate file which we got copied. So implement copy program. This is the source file, destination file, which we created the file. Okay. See, this is the source file, mytextfile.txt. And I am implementing the program py implement file copy. Okay. And then I could get this destination file with the same contents, This is the program I executed. I gave the source file. This is the source file. Then from the source file name, exactly the destination file name is created. Dest file name or destination file is created, and then the contents are copied. Destination file with source file contents copied. So that's it about the file copy. Now let me know in case if you have any doubt. Otherwise, today because of the pace of the session, I could not start the dataset concept. Actually, we are running late with my actual schedule of the program. Maybe it is also required. I am not willing to rush just to complete the program. If really required, I will take extra sessions also after the schedule in case if it is not covered. So my intention is everybody should understand clearly instead of just skipping just for the sake of completing the topics. So I believe today's session is useful. Tomorrow we will see how to create some sample data in a text file, and then we will continue the topics of file management as well. So in case of any doubt, you please let me know. I am stopping the screen share as of now.